guys, it is DragonLordAzure. We are back with more of Octopath Traveler. Hope you guys are doing well. So in last episode, we confronted Russell and we got the tome back, and we returned it just to find out that Therese had spread a nasty little rumor that the princess and Cyrus were having basically like a little relationship. So now Cyrus is being forced on sabbatical, where he can now go in search of a 15-year-old tome that has been missing from the archives of Atlasdom. So, but first things first, we need to exit Atlasdom to finish out the rest of Cyrus's story.
Now, I must find out all I can about From the Far Reaches of Hell. My erstwhile colleague, Odette, knows more about arcane studies than anyone I know. Last I heard, she sojourned in Quarry Quest. I should begin my journey there.
He's being followed. And so Cyrus left the academy behind in search of the lost tome from the far reaches of hell. What dark secrets might its pages hold? Only the gods know. Okay, so what we're going to do smartly is, instead of trying to journey all the way from here, we are actually going to go to Ripple-Tide, and we're going to start from there, and we're going to head down towards our next companion, essentially. But first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to stop at the inn, wherever the inn is. There it is. And we are going to rest, just so everyone is at full capacity. So this is basically, this episode is going to mainly be heading towards our next little area, which we're going to be heading to Old Barrack in Cobblestone. So that is essentially what we're going to be doing most of this episode. So far out of everyone, so let's kind of do a recap of everybody so far. So with Therion's entire thing is that he got caught. Essentially the whole thing that his whole thing was about was the people in the manor, basically made lies about this whole thing, just so they could get access to like the best ever. So that way, they could send them on this quest to get these dragon eyes that they're missing, which they have one, but they're missing the other like 3. So they essentially were just trying to get someone that they could trust and that could actually get the job done as a thief. So that way, they could get the things back that they that were stolen from them. Which I mean, I get. If you're gonna hire someone, you kind of want the expert in that field, or at least like the best in that field.
Not bad.
So that makes sense. So that's Therion. And then with Hanit, her master essentially, went on this journey to go try and find, he got contracted to, come, go with some people in order to track down this monster or whatever that's been causing issues. But then all of a sudden, like his trusted pet shows up back in town and just is like, yeah, we're in trouble. So now Hanit wants to find her master wherever he is now, like, in trouble. That's her entire story. Plus, she kind of saved the forest that she was next to from this Jabberwocky-looking thing, and just made sure that it was not going to cause any issues, because she believes in the law of she believes in the law of the forest, where
out of my way.
If you're going to do anything in the forest, you have to make sure that you kind of, it's almost kind of like the law of the jungle, where it's like, as everything has like an ebb and flow. You know, kind of think that, you know, like the whole thing of the great circle of life. You know, where, you know, the giraffe eats the grass, like the grass grows, giraffe eats the grass, lion eats the giraffe, and then the lion dies and becomes the grass. It's the never-ending circle. Well, this Jabberwocky was just causing issues to where he was just saying, no, I am the end-all be-all, everything happens my way, or it happens no way. So that's why, you know, they kind of had to stop that because it was disrupting the natural balance.
And that's that.
With Ophelia, sorry about that. You know, with Ophelia, her adopted father essentially got really sick, and you know, her sister was who the actual
I've done
father
my research.
was very concerned with her dad and just wanted to make sure that he was gonna
My turn.
you know, he was gonna survive and whatnot, and she wasn't really focused on her task of being the flame bearer. So Ophelia took upon herself to become that flame bearer. That way, her adopted sister could stay there with her dad. So Ophelia is one of those people that's extremely selfless because she put herself in a position that she knew she wasn't trained for it, she wasn't ready for it, but yet she's still doing it because she feels for her family. You know, whether they're blood family or not. So it's, you know, it's one of those things where she's going out of her way to, you know, help help the family that she knows. And then you have,
come on, I've got
Tressa,
better things to do.
which Tressa just wants to go out and explore the world. Like she's been,
course of action.
you know, she's been at home for far too long.
Oh,
She's been just stuck and just not able to really do anything because her dad didn't, you know, she's never really had the chance. But now she has a motive with this book that she got from Captain Leon Mistral. Like she has a motive now. She has a motive to want to go out and do all these things and experience everything. You know, it's great. You know, like hers is more of a personal thing. Like she wants to go out, she wants to explore and experience things on her own. You know, it's like, whereas you gotta
Where's
look
the
at,
nearest tavern?
you know, you gotta look at everyone else's situation. You know, so far everyone else, they were kind of forced into something. So like Therion, forced into stealing these dragon's eyes. Ophelia forced into it because she wanted to, you know, because of her father getting ill and her sister wanted to.
Come on, I've got better things
keep
to
track
do.
of everything. You know, and then you got Cyrus getting forced into, you know, Cyrus getting forced into what he has to do because of, you know, a lie that Therese said. So I mean, like, even though each one of them have like their own like motive technically to want to like go do everything, like in all intents and purposes, the only one that wasn't forced into the role so far has been Tressa. Tressa's the only one that is doing it because she wanted to. Everyone else is like has a reason to be forced into it. So it's interesting. So I'm not sure how, you know, the rest of them are gonna go. And Cyrus is dead. Ow.
Much to my turn.
You're a strong guy.
Well then.
Oh, I'm one shy. Really? Let's see. Life.
Have this. What
You
to
know, so
do?
it's a rather interesting.
The winds of
It's a
fortune are
rather
out.
interesting little setup that they have right now. Really
Let's
interesting
do
setup.
this.
Wow, you're only 27? That's insane, dude.
Mike, let's do this.
Wow, your defense is high.
Well then, here I go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Goodbye. But yeah, so far Tressa's the only one that doesn't have a motive other than her own desire to go out. You know, like I said, you know, Therion has basically the marked thief bracelet on him. Ophelia has the motivation of, you know, wanting her sister to be at home with her father. You know, and then you got Hanit. She has the whole motive of wanting to go find her master, who's now missing.
Step right up.
And then you got Cyrus being forced into the sabbatical. So it's just she's the only one that doesn't have a motive. The only one that doesn't have a motive. So that's forcing her.
My turn.
So I think Trezza has a little bit easier than the rest. That's just me though. You know, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Everyone is completely entitled to their own opinion. That's what, you know, playing these types of games are great about, is the fact that everyone can have their own separate opinion, and that's what's fantastic. And that's why I love discussing games with people, because everyone has their own individual opinion, their own individual likes, dislikes. It's fun, you know. It's like going to different games,
Let's
like
do this.
talking with people about like Final Fantasy. Like, you know, a lot of people like 7, a lot of people like 8, people like 9, people like 2 and 3. You know, people have different likes, and you know, that's great. You know, it's really nice to see that people have all of these different opinions on games, and you know, you gotta think different like opinions on games, movies, you know, all this other stuff, and it's like, it's so refreshing to be able to talk to people about this game, that game, whatever, and you know, for people to enjoy just the pure talk of video games. You know, because when I was younger, my parents were like, oh, people will never make money off of, you know, playing video games all day long, and it's like, look at how it is nowadays. Like, you got people like, you know,
the logical course of action?
Markiplier. Now I know he mainly, if he does do video games, he mainly does like Minecraft, but you know, look at like Markiplier, Mr. Beast. You know, and then the people that I heavily watch for Pokemon content, United Gamer and Original 151,
And
like,
that's that.
they're doing exceptionally well for themselves playing video games. You know, it's crazy how our society has changed, and it's actually a really welcome thing. Because people I'm pretty sure people still look at it. People look at video games as a very nerdy thing to do, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh,
Because
them through.
it's actually a proven fact that people that have played video games actually have quicker reaction times, because we're so used to having to react to things in games, but also the sheer fact that we're better thinkers, we're better problem solvers because
My turn
of
now.
things that happen in games that make us think. You know, like take God of War, for instance, like the OG God of War games, when it was doing the Greek Pantheon. You know, games like that where they have puzzles and stuff that you have to figure out. You know, it's not as simple as just you just go up and click a button and it's done. You actually have to like logically think out the puzzle in order for it to work, you know? And I don't think people truly understand that that's really what video games are all about. You know, because video games are really helping people come out of shells. Like there's a content creator I know, I forget if it's for Twitch or for YouTube. I think it's for Twitch, where he doesn't have any arms, unfortunately, because he wasn't born with any. But that doesn't stop it, because of the sheer fact that he's playing with a controller that's been made for his mouth. And he's still sitting there playing doing what he enjoys doing, and I commend him for it. You know, and
My turn
I've
now.
always been the kind of person where,
The winds of
you know,
fortune
I
are
will
ours.
always tell people, do the things that you love
Well then,
because you love doing it. Don't do it because other people tell you to do it. You know, like I do
flame
this
guides us
because
true.
I love doing this. Could I easily play video games, you know, whenever I'm off work and just not relate to anything with anyone else? Sure, could easily do that. But I like doing this because the fact that I'm able to meet extremely kind individuals and amazing new people that I can talk with, I can have conversations with, and all this other stuff. It's just, it makes it way more fun. Video games have turned into a way for people to actually like come out of shells and meet like-minded people and just have a good time again. You know? You know, yes, there are instances, I will admit there are instances where video games get really, really toxic. You know, like, you know,
here I go.
you know, I know people are gonna groan at me and whatever, but you know, games like League, Dead by Daylight, Apex,
I am
people can
not to be
get really
defeated.
salty and can get really
There.
critical. You know, and that's why I try not to play those games as much, because I don't want to be that kind of a person. You know, I really want to be the kind of person to where people actually
Don't start
can
things
come
you
and
can't
talk to
finish.
about their likes on a game, and I'm not just gonna immediately bash it. You know, there are some games that I understand why people play them, like Dark Souls. I understand why people play them. I get it. It's a challenge, and you know, I love the fact that you want a game that has a challenge. I respect it. Is it my kind of a game? No, it is really not my kind of game.
Step right up.
Hello. I need to kill you because you give a lot of experience. So I could probably. I can do medium.
Take this!
But you know,
Where's
it's like,
the nearest tavern?
you know, I love that cat. I love that cat. It's so good. It's so good. But it's like, you know, while I understand people enjoy games like Dark Souls, and while they enjoy, you know, stuff like that, it's just, it's not my kind of game. It's not a game that I really enjoy playing. It's not a game I really, you know, technically enjoy watching. You know, because I don't see the thrill in watching someone lose their butts over and over and over again too. It's just, it's not my thing. But again, I
I'll
understand
make
why
this
people
quick.
play it. It's a challenge. I'm all for a challenge. I'm all for it. I get it.
Here I
You
go.
know, 100% understand that people want a challenge, so they're gonna play a game that's gonna give them that challenge. You know, that's why, you know, look at what people have done with Pokemon. You know, like, people love the Pokemon franchise for hours. They love it. But that's why people are doing, like,
My turn.
randomizers and Nuzlocks, because they're taking the game that they know, and they're adding in that added little twist to it in order to make the game more interesting and more fun. Because not knowing what's coming is the whole purpose of the randomizer and Nuzlocke. It's, you know, it's that feeling of essentially playing the game for the first time again.
What to do?
Because you don't know what to expect, you don't know what's gonna happen around the
I'll
next
do my
corner.
best.
It's one of those things where it's so much fun again, you know? So, you know, that's my viewpoint on video games. You know, it's
Let's
turned into
do
one of these
this.
things where people can, you know, go and talk to someone in a stream or in a YouTube video, and they can find people that have similar likes, and they can find people that have dislikes, you know, and it's amazing to see. It really is amazing to see.
I've done my
These guys gotta
research
try
on
it.
you.
But you know, it's truly what I enjoy the most about video games, really, is the ability to sit there and talk to people about
What next?
what they like, what they dislike. You know, and you know, I know not everyone is gonna enjoy
Let's
every single
do
game ever
this.
made, because I don't. And I don't expect others to do that either. You know, I don't expect people to
Time
like,
to close up
you know,
shop.
like take a video game franchise that, you know, I tried but I didn't like. You know, Darksiders. You know, I tried playing the original Darksiders, and I'm kind of one of those people where if the opening scene of the game doesn't really make if the opening scene looks really, really good, and then the game itself looks like something that is like worse than Minecraft, I can't play it because the graphics are way too different. Like it could be something so cinematic, like, you know, we're talking, you know, like Marvel's Avengers, right? Like take Marvel's Avengers, if they took the Avengers and put it into a video game and it looked more blocky than Minecraft did, I don't think people would play it because it just feels weird. You know, but given that's what the games were back then, because that's how PlayStation was. And, you know, I don't have an issue with that. My issue is the fact with false advertising. That's always been my issue, is just false advertising. You know, it's like if you're gonna say that this game looks like this, it should kind of sort of be like that. You know, that's been my only issue. That's just my personal opinion. I know that's not everyone's opinion, and again, that's okay. That is completely okay. Not everyone has to have the same opinion. You know, that's what I truly love about video games. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I agree, absolutely agree. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Okay, so nothing in there. Everyone is absolutely entitled. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, since we're in a new town, we need to start stealing. Can we get the harvest? Sweet. We're not gonna steal anything under 80%. Let's see, what do you have, my good sir? Nope. You have nothing I want. Nope. Okay, nothing there. Well, I know I could probably fight you. Oh, I'll take the grape. Thanks. Appreciate that. You're probably too strong, though. Hello? Nope. And what do you have? Silver clock. I can take that. Thank you very much. And I'll take the essence of grape. Thank you very much. I'll take this. What do you have, my fair maiden? Thank you for the unnerving earring. I appreciate that. And I can't steal from you or anything. Yeah, I can't steal anything from you. And that's pretty much it that's here, because there's Ulberic. Because that is our next person right there, is Ulberic. Okay? But I think this is actually where we're going to cut this episode, because we really don't have enough time to get into Ulberic's story. But next episode, we will get into Ulberic's story a little bit and see what makes him tick and about his past. Again, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Are you ready for this?